Ever felt like you're just not cut out for your job, even when you're doing well? That feeling is called imposter syndrome and can be a real career stopper and emotionally draining. But don't you worry, because I've got some tips that'll help you shake off those self-doubts and really own your worth in the workplace. Number 7. Know that you're not alone. Here's the thing. Imposter syndrome doesn't discriminate. It hits everyone from workers to CEOs. And in my opinion, that's actually pretty reassuring, because it means that even some of the most successful people in the world who have accomplished incredible stuff in their careers feel the same way you and I do. They also wonder if they're good enough. Sure, that's not to say that it should be normalized to the extent that we just accept it and let it paralyze us. But it should be a reminder that it's a hurdle, not a dead end, a challenge, not a full stop. Number 6. Give credit to yourself. If you ask me, this is the most important step in overcoming imposter syndrome. Seriously, you didn't land your job by accident. You've worked diligently to get to this point in your career. All the hours you've put into studying, the internships, the endless cycle of job applications and interviews, they've all brought you here. So give yourself some credit, because you've earned it. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for a pat on the back from your boss or a shout out in a team meeting to feel like you've done a good job. But external validation doesn't always come. That's why you should make it a habit to recognize your own achievements. Did you just finish a tough project? Acknowledge it. Nail the presentation. Take a moment to appreciate your own skills. This is vital, because the one person who's always going to be there when you achieve something is you. And you've got to understand that this isn't just a nice-to-have mindset. It's actually essential for your long-term success and mental well-being. When you get into the habit of recognizing your own achievements, you become more resilient to external opinions. It gives you a sense of stability and makes you less dependent on what other people think. And the best part is that the more you practice this, the easier it becomes. You'll find that over time, you're not waiting for someone else to validate your worth. You already know what you've achieved, and that makes all the difference in how you approach your work and your life. Number 5. Don't dwell on your failures. You know that sinking feeling you get when something doesn't go as planned. We've all been there. It's so easy to take that one misstep and turn it into this colossal sign that we're not cut out for this, or we're never going to succeed. But let's be clear, that's just not the case. Failures are normal, and they don't define your worth or potential. In fact, to me, failures are opportunities for learning. Every time something doesn't go as planned, you've got a new lesson in front of you. So, what to do when you hit a bump in the road? Instead of beating yourself up or seeing it as a sign that you don't belong where you are, take a step back. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Number 4. Distinguish humility and fear. Sometimes we're so good at something that we start to discount its value as if it's no big deal. But let's get one thing straight. Just because something comes naturally to you doesn't mean it's easy or that it's not valuable. And this takes us to the heart of the issue, feeling unworthy. It's this weird place where any praise, any positive feedback, any reward feels undeserved. It's like you're just waiting for someone to pull back the curtain and reveal that you're a fraud. But you can feel worthy without feeling entitled. They're not the same thing. Being humble doesn't mean you have to discount your worth. You can own your accomplishments and still be a grounded, gracious person. You don't have to guard your success like it's some territory that could be taken away from you at any moment. You can accept that you've earned your place without being defensive or feeling like a fraud. Number 3. Practice positive affirmations. I know, it sounds a bit like a homework assignment, but stick with me. Making a list of affirmations, statements that counteract those negative thoughts, is a straightforward and effective way to fight back against imposter syndrome. And yes, it's going to feel awkward at first. You'll read them and think, who am I trying to kid? But trust me, it helps. For example, write down statements like, I am capable, or I have earned my seat at the table. Other good ones might be, I can make good decisions, and my presence and voice matter. Tailor them to suit you. The idea is to come up with affirmations that specifically challenge the lies you're telling yourself. And the next time you're feeling that imposter syndrome creep in, pull out your list. Read those affirmations to yourself, even if you have to do it quietly in a bathroom stall or sitting in your car. It's like a mental reset button. The more you do it, the more your brain starts to accept these statements as facts, not just wishful thinking. Because you're essentially rewiring your thought patterns to focus on your strengths and accomplishments instead of dwelling on doubts and insecurities. Over time, this will boost your confidence and help you feel less like an imposter and more like the competent individual you actually are. Number 2. Surround yourself with good company. Let's face it, we often mirror the emotions and perspectives of those we spend the most time with. So if you're surrounded by positivity, that's going to rub off on you. One of the best moves you can make? Seek out a mentor. Find someone who's been through what you're going through, who's faced similar challenges. They can offer you not only practical advice, but also the emotional support that comes from shared experience. Just knowing someone else has felt the same way and overcome it can be incredibly uplifting. And don't stop at mentorship. Get involved in communities where people are on the same journey as you. This could be entrepreneurial networks, professional organizations, or online forums. These are spaces where you can be open about your challenges, share your experiences, and even collaborate on solutions. Plus, networking never hurts, right? The aim here is to create a supportive environment for yourself. When you hear those imposter syndrome whispers starting up, you'll have a community and a mentor who can offer a counter-narrative, who can remind you of your worth and your achievements. Number 1. Embrace the feeling and use it to your advantage. Here's a different take. What if you don't need to get rid of it completely? Instead, how about we focus on not letting it hold us back? Think of it as anxiety or stress. These emotions don't disappear entirely. We learn to manage them. Same goes for imposter syndrome. When you feel it creeping up, instead of viewing it as this massive obstacle, think of it as a signal. It could be telling you that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, which is actually a good thing. Growth never happens in comfort zones, remember? Or maybe it's alerting you to an area where you could improve. That's valuable information too. In either case, the point isn't to eliminate the feeling, but to harness it for something productive. If you think about it, imposter syndrome is born out of a place of wanting to do well, to be competent, to not let anyone down. Those are all good traits, just taken to an extreme. So why not dial it back a little and use that energy to focus on doing your best work, learning, and growing? So, did you find this video helpful? Let me know in the comments. But that's all for today. See you in the next video.